Hello and welcome to Voice of Rio Grande. I'm Dr. Donna Mitchell, Dean of the College of Professional and Technical Studies, and I'm here with some of my guests from the School of Business. We're here on a beautiful spring day. The sun, I think, might be trying to peek out from the clouds. The campus is looking very, very pretty. Everything's in order for graduation. We're having pinning ceremonies, recognition ceremonies. Had a beautiful ceremony today recognizing our School of Business award recipients. And I have the honor of talking to members of the AMA first, and then later some people who went on a New York trip with the School of Business. So my first guests are Ashton, Hogan, Cody, Bowen, and Donna Mitchell. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And I'd like to start out by just asking each of you to give us a little bit of information about who you are and why you chose Rio for your education.
Okay.
You want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
I am Ashton Hogan. I am from Benton, Ohio. I am a business management major here with a minor in marketing, and I chose Rio Grande because it's close to home. My family's here. We were raised here. My animals, I didn't want to leave, so this was very convenient in staying home, and it's just part of a family here. I do like the culture.
Good. And you are an officer in the AMA?
Yes, I am currently vice president, but I was just elected as president today, so I will be taking over the next semester.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
My name is Cody Bowen. I am a sophomore with the School of Business Management with a minor in marketing. I've always kind of lived here in the area. I immediately out of high school I went and joined the workforce for a little bit, but decided I wanted to continue my education. So I came back to Rio after a couple of years. I'm also one of the officers in the AMA. I was the videographer over the last semester, and as of about 20 minutes ago, I am the vice president of the AMA.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
My name is Donna Mitchell, as you mentioned already. Born and raised here in Gallipolis, Ohio. I'm a sophomore in the School of Business with a business management degree as my bachelor's and a focus in healthcare administration. So I'm not a marketing major, but for AMA, you don't have to be a marketing or business major to join. The reason I chose Rio, everyone else, just close to home, nice home bodies, and good to be living with family and friends, still have them around.
And you said you don't have to be a business major or a marketing minor, and I honestly did not know that. So any student who is interested in marketing or in the AMA can join the AMA.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And we are a nationally recognized award-winning association here at Rio. It's really awesome to be part of.
Mm-hmm. Great. You just took 2 awards at your conference, I believe. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Yes. We went down to New Orleans for the ICC, which is the International Collegiate Conference. I think it was roughly 150 schools were there from all over the world, actually. I met a couple people from Puerto Rico. Yep. And we took home 2 awards in Outstanding Achievement in our, I think it was Communications Department and our our membership department.
Yep.
Wonderful.
So we're really proud of that.
Wonderful. Yep. I know in the past the AMA has always brought home different kinds of awards and recognitions from this conference. You do a great job, and you have some really awesome projects. We're seeing now some photos. Could you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing from the New York trip?
This was mostly sightseeing throughout New Orleans. We actually did a ferry boat ride. We also went to Mardi Gras World and got to see a lot of the props and floats throughout there. So that was really neat. We got to go backstage and watch them work on them. This one specifically was our ferry boat ride, and we were all leaning in there together.
There's a funny story about this photo. Not even 5 minutes after this, me and our Professor Wes, we got stranded over on the other side of the ferry because
So the rest of the AMA
So the rest of the AMA went over without us, and we had to wait for the next ferry ride to come back.
It was tempting to leave.
They didn't
though.
have their change ready, so
Yeah.
we had to come back and get them.
It was a very interesting time, to say the least.
Sounds like it. And what are we looking at here?
Yeah, this is actually the Superdome down in New Orleans. Oddly enough, with the timing, the day after we left was WrestleMania there in New Orleans. So there were wrestling fans, and every now and then we'd actually see like a wrestler or someone who walking around with a bunch of people taking pictures and stuff. It was different. I met some people who were there from Australia who were like, "Oh, are you down here for the WrestleMania?" I was like, no.
Oh, that's an interesting picture. Looks like you're all having a good time.
Yes, very much of the selfies with Wes right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was right after we won our award, so
Yeah, as
we're pretty
always.
excited in that picture.
All smiles.
No wonder there's smiles.
Yes.
We are eating in every single one of our pictures.
It's kind of an AMA tradition that most pictures of us are us eating, oddly enough.
It looks like that was a nice, maybe a formal dinner.
It
Yes.
was. That
Yeah.
was our last night of the conference was our banquet, and so they were announcing awards. And the Mary Kay, we actually went there to study the Mary Kay case study and participated in the case competition there. So we're sitting while the speaker just got done talking, and now we're in the awards.
Very good. And that looks like you might be holding an award there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is the award that is
That
now
was
sitting in our
the-
trophy case.
Communication and membership.
Could you tell us what that means, communication and membership? What do you have to do to get those awards?
Well, for the membership part of it, that is an award showing that our members in AMA were very active in our events. Our membership were pretty diligent, I would say, throughout the semester with Visitation Day, which is a big event that we run every year. We had most of the AMA there, and just throughout the year, we tried to do our best with our members to come together for all the different events that we hosted.
And with communication, I am the vice president of communication, so that was my field. I was very proud that we could take home that award. But what communication sums up to basically is how we communicate as a group. Usually we use Facebook Messenger, easiest way to get everyone connected and involved. Make sure we stay in touch about meetings, activities going on around campus. Especially when we were down in New Orleans, that was a big thing for us to keep track of everyone. And also, it comes back to social media events. We just recently started back up our Facebook, Instagram. We recently started up that as well, and we have a Twitter. It's usually, I think it's at Rio AMA.
Yes.
Yeah.
So go follow it out there. But basically, it's just like making sure we keep a follower count up, likes on Facebook, followers on Instagram or Twitter. And basically that we post every day and that we make sure our followers are informed of what is going on at the AMA at Rio.
Very good. And I know your professor, Wesley Taney, has some ideas about doing some more work with the Facebook and with your other communication methods, and to actually try and reach out maybe to even area high schools to talk about what's happening in the business world each week.
Yes, actually, our Vice President Cody here had an idea that we were going to do more with videos similar to this and photos as well to keep everybody updated on the events and stuff that we're participating in as a group. But we wanted to kind of do a video each week and show everyone what we're working on per week, so it's not just like when a huge event comes around, that's when everybody hears about it. We wanted to kind of keep them updated more often.
Very good. Very good. Could tell us a little more about exactly what the AMA is. Some people may not even know what AMA stands for. It's not the American Medical Association.
No, we get
Right.
that a lot.
I get confused personally where I'm going into the medical field. It's sometimes very tricky to handle both. But the AMA stands for the American Marketing Association. Cody could probably elaborate more than I can on it, but basically it's just a thing where colleges all around the world that love to do marketing can go out and express their love for marketing. It's just basically a simple term for it. Like I said earlier, you don't have to be a business major to join. I mean, anyone can join. I'm a healthcare major, and I mean, you can still go in and help out, enjoy marketing, because marketing is a very vast field that you can use even for yourself personally.
Yeah, I think marketing is something that is extremely important to anybody looking to join in the workforce, because a large part of that is learning how to market yourself, learning how to present yourself You know, we have classes, we have talks about running your own, starting your own LinkedIn profile, stuff like that. That's one of the things that we're going to be doing in the next years. We're going to be trying to focus more on, you know, helping people market themselves. So we are the American Marketing Association, but it's not simply a business school focused thing. You know, it's marketing in all kinds of different aspects.
Exactly. We're actually looking to hopefully get people from different majors to join our group, because when you're marketing yourself, you need to be able to do the professional development, side of things, but also be able to reach out to everybody. And we need people to do like art designs. We need people to do IT, to do videos and photography. And so it's a group where we accept everybody's varieties and we put them all together in order to reach a common goal.
Wonderful. It sounds like a great organization to join.
It is.
For any student.
Yeah, and I'd say that I've definitely made a lot more friends than I might have otherwise. So it's really good. And we have a lot of fun. We get together pretty often. We're going to be having a barbecue over the summer, and we do different trips. This last year we went up to the Columbus for some different events up there where they talked about different things like the Super Bowl. They had a couple of ad executives there discussing what they felt about the different Super Bowl ads. And it was really interesting to get that other perspective of someone who actually has worked in the field, who has made ads of that caliber, to be talking about them and get to see their perspective and stuff like that. So we get to do stuff all the time that's just really awesome opportunities.
It sounds like a lot of fun. If somebody were to ask you, what do you think about University of Rio Grande Community College School of Business? And I'm thinking about going to school. What do you think? Should I maybe think about Rio? What would be your advice?
Absolutely. I feel like people don't think too much into Rio because we're a smaller school, but it is a huge community, and we are all part of a big family, especially because our professors can spend more time with us one-on-one. They know our names. We're not just a body. We are faces, and we know everybody around here. It's easy to see other people in class and then run up and talk to them later because we're so personable. Yeah.
And, you know, with the small class sizes and everything, knowing half the people in your class on your first day is really helpful. You know, I share classes with 2-3 people, and I have every single class with them, so it's easy to just hop on Facebook and be like, hey, you know, I didn't really understand this concept in class. Did you maybe get a better hold on it? And then the professors knowing us all by names and being able to just go to their office hours and not feel like, oh, they have no idea who I am. We can just go there and they know who we are. They know what we're, you know, what kind of stuff we're dealing with and stuff. It's really awesome.
And not even just like that. I mean, it's even, as I know everybody struggles financially sometimes with affording college. I mean, Rio is one of the most affordable colleges in Ohio. That was me personally. One of my personal experiences was I wanted to find a cost-effective school that I know that I could get a good education at, and lived near Rio all my life, and I knew that if I needed a good home to find for college, I could go here. Even after 2 years, the fear of bumping up to university rates, if you keep good grades, it doesn't really affect you all that much. So I mean, it's a good place, and as they already mentioned before, small class sizes, professors are personable, friendly, and you're not just a number here. So. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I really appreciate you joining me today for Voice of Rio Grande. I'm so proud of what you've done in your AMA chapter, and I see all the trophies and awards that AMA has won, and I know it's going to continue for years to come. So thank you so much for being at Rio and for coming and talking to me today.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
It's really nice to see the quality of student that we have at the University of Rio Grande and Rio Grande Community College and our School of Business students. I've had the opportunity to spend some time with some of these students in a New York trip, and I really enjoyed my time with those students. And I've been told that I need to give a shout out to Anderson Community TV and Perkins Community TV, so thank you for joining us with Voice of Rio Grande. And in just a few minutes, we're going to go ahead and switch out, and I'm going to talk to some students who went on the New York trip. I was so privileged to be able to go to New York with these students and with Roger Watson, their instructor. We had a great time, and that's one thing about Rio, is that we are small enough that students get opportunities to do things that they might not have the opportunity to do at a larger school. So we take our students different places, give them different opportunities, and we see a lot of growth in our students over the time that they're here in Rio. from the time they come in as an associate degree student to the time that they graduate either with their associate degree or their baccalaureate degree. And my other two guests are Kylie Caudill and Clarissa Kosnich, and these are two students who were with us on the, or I should say I was with them, on the trip to New York. Welcome to Voice of Rio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, could you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
My name is Clarissa Kosnich. I now live in Jackson. I'm originally from Hillsboro, Ohio. My major is business management with a minor in psychology, and I also have a certificate in healthcare administration, and I'll be graduating in May.
I'm Kylie Caudill. I am an accounting major with a minor in banking. I'm from Columbus. I think that's...
Why did you choose Rio if you're from Columbus?
For a track scholarship, actually.
Oh, good. Are you still running track?
I'm injured, so not at the moment, but I have the past 3 years.
What was your event?
All the jumps.
All the jumps.
Yep.
Good. Well, we had the opportunity to go to New York City, and some folks on that trip had never flown before.
I was one of them.
Some folks had never been to the big city.
I was also one of
Yeah,
those
that was, yeah, me too.
So let's talk a little bit about the trip to New York. What were some of the highlights of the trip for you?
I loved the New York Stock Exchange. I thought that was so surreal to be a part of that. Even in the moment, you're trying to take everything in, but at the same time, you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm really here. Like, this is amazing. Because some people, I mean, would never ever get the opportunity to ever do anything like that.
Well, this is a picture of the group, and we were at the hotel, and we were getting ready to, was that when we were getting ready to go to dinner?
Yes.
So that's the instructor in the back, Roger Watson, and the wonderful group of students. Actually, in front of Roger is his wife, and the rest are Rio students. So we're flipping back now again, back to New Orleans. And there is what, ladies?
The New York Stock Exchange, inside, where all the magic happens.
Yeah.
The floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah, we actually got to go down onto the floor, not just see it from above, and it was, like Clarissa said, it was so, like, surreal to know, like, everything that's happened in there. It's crazy.
And to think how long that building has been there and the changes they've seen.
This is just right in front of, well, the bell is above that. They ring every morning to open and close the market. So it's just like right above there. But in a hallway, like right before that, they have signatures of every single person that's ever rang the bell. So that was really cool to see that.
And that's the gavel that they hit before they rang the bell. And I believe your instructor, Roger Watson, was one of the people who got to ring that bell.
Yes. A few years back, I believe.
And here we are in front of the New York Stock Exchange.
This was on, we were in there earlier in the day, and then we went back to the hotel and changed and came back out and just went like sightseeing, like out on Wall Street and stuff.
It was a very fast-paced trip. At the end, you were so grateful, of course, of everything you got to see, but then you're like, how did I get all of that in within 24 hours? That was crazy.
Left early one morning and returned late the next night.
Yes.
What do you think this might be? You remember where we were there?
That is like right where Rockefeller Plaza.
Yes, yes.
That's where the ice skating rink is. It was really, like in movies and stuff, I always thought it was so much bigger. And it was really small, but we did some sightseeing there on Friday night. It was pretty, or was that Saturday night? That might have been Saturday night, or Saturday. I don't know.
It all runs together.
It does.
I
It does.
I think that might have been Friday night.
It might have been,
Yeah.
I don't know. One thing that surprised me about the skating rink, and I'm not sure why, is I thought everybody would be like professional skaters there.
Yes.
And we were seeing beginners, so it made me feel that maybe I could even try it someday.
The little kids were definitely resilient. They were
Yeah,
not
they
giving
were
up.
funny. And this one is also Friday night in Times Square.
Yep.
before this we went to a really nice restaurant, and then we just went sightseeing all night. It's really cool.
And behind us is where the ball drops.
Yeah.
Yes. And Times Square at night compared to in the daytime is two completely different
Yes.
elements, I
It
think.
almost looks like two different places.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So what was your highlight?
My highlight, I think going to the top of the Freedom Tower was definitely the coolest thing. I don't think we had a picture of that on there, but it was just so cool. It's like, isn't it the tallest building? Is it in the world or in North America?
That I'm not sure of. I know it was the tallest building in North America for sure.
Yeah, but it's really cool because you can see like all of New York there. Like it's a 360 view, so it was really cool.
Yeah, you could see the Statue of Liberty and everything.
I think my highlight was still the stock exchange. I think for us it was hard to realize how hard it really is to get into the stock exchange because Roger is so awesome with dealing with all of that and making sure that he has everything squared away so we never have any worries about going, but that's an incredibly hard thing to do. So I thought that was really just awesome for us to be a part of.
It's not only hard to get into, but you have to have like a sponsor or somebody
Yeah,
to take you in. Share with the viewers a little bit about the process that we went through to be able to get into the stock exchange.
It's pretty much just like if you're going to the airport, you have to go through like a whole security check. They have to check your driver's license. You go through like a scanner, all that kind of stuff.
Metal detectors,
Yeah.
and there's like 3 officers standing by.
Yeah, and you have to wear a badge the whole time that you're in there.
And we had an escort, I guess you would call him. He was our guide. And how long, I don't remember, I think he'd been at the stock exchange since the 70s maybe?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So he had a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge to share. What would be your thoughts to people who are saying, I don't know if I want to go to New York or not. I'm just not sure. I don't know if I want to spend the money. I don't know if I want to fly.
I personally had personal stipulations. At first, I just didn't know if I wanted to spend the money to go, even though it's only a fraction of what it actually cost. I was very aware that it was a very good deal and that I should take advantage of it. I'm very school-oriented, so I didn't really want to walk away from my studies this close to graduation, and then my grandfather actually ended up in the hospital the night before we were supposed to leave. So at 9 o'clock the night before, I was like, do I really leave? Because he had the option of having surgery the next day. So then I went. He made me promise not to miss my trip. So I went, and I wouldn't take it back for the world. I think I leave that one up to the man upstairs that everything happened the way it did because he didn't end up having surgery until I got back, and I got to have the fun-filled trip. But don't let money stop you. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and Roger sets everything out to just be all together, and you just go with the flow, and everything just happens so quickly, but it's also so surreal. And take as many pictures as you can. I'm definitely a person to take pictures, and I took so many on the way out, and I was the one in the back of the group taking pictures. I think I actually made John very nervous because I was the one behind the entire group taking pictures, and I don't regret it a second because I just looked through them and realize how fun it really was.
It was so cool to be able to go. Like, you can tell how much time Roger, our professor, spent into planning all that, and even the money himself that he spent for the trip. And obviously it takes time out of his life to be able to go, so we're just so grateful that he sets up this opportunity for us to be able to go, and the university as well, and everyone else who sponsors our trip.
And you talked about the cost, and you're right, it is a fraction of the cost. Students come up with a small portion, but the university sponsors a large component of that trip, so it makes it affordable for most students. And I know Roger has always said that if a student's struggling to have a way to go, to not say they can't go because of that, to come talk to him. So we want to try to get as many students to be able to come on the trip as possible. And you're right, he had us planned down to the minute almost.
Yeah, he was like, you can go sit in your room for 10 minutes and then you have to be back down here at this specific time and we're leaving. It's crazy how organized that he was during that whole trip.
And we walked fast.
Yes, so fast. I didn't know, like I felt half the time I was like, should I just start running? Like, should I just jog? Because this is taking, like, him and his wife, they walk so fast.
But it was a whirlwind trip, but really actually you saw the financial district and the main things that he would like for you to see. And I think in a very short time we saw a lot of New York City.
Oh, yes.
A lot of the highlights.
For sure.
Well, thank you for joining me on this episode of Voice of Rio Grande, and thank you for being such wonderful Rio students and such a great example of what we have here at the University of Rio Grande and Rio Grande Community College.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. I was really annoyed because this piece of